I've decided to get away from it all with a lovely trip to the City of Alzan. Unfortunately, I didn't realise that the City of Alzan is a city of thieves and cutthroats, surrounded by a high city wall, and home to a deadly plague. Oh dear. El Grabbo! Fortunately, I've got my wits, and with those I should be able to get away before I get knifed or die of the lurgy. Let's crack on.
Today's video takes us all the way back to 1981 and the ZX81 Pocketbook written by Trevor Toms, published by Phipps Associates. Earlier we looked at the Create Your Own Adventure system, but now we're going on into the City of Alzan. The City of Alzan is a much more complete adventure, taking place in a fictitious city named Alzan, built on top of the sea cliffs and inhabited by thieves and cutthroats. My aim with the game is to find a way out of the city before I get caught or before the plague gets me. Unfortunately, the city is surrounded by extremely high walls, and so first I must find a way to scale them. When the program is fully running, I should have roughly 4150 bytes, or just about 4K of memory free. So the game is much more advanced than the previous one, because you have 11 objects, 43 words it recognises, 19 different locations, 9 conditions, and no less than 47 actions. So, without any further ado, let's get straight into the action. So we find ourselves in the City of Alzan, and we must scale the walls if we are to escape from a city of thieves and cutthroats. I'm in the main street outside a hardware shop. The street stretches east and west, and a small alley leads north beside the shop. So let's go shopping. Enter shop. You can also use in. This is how long it takes to process a command. I will be editing out most of this throughout the rest of the video. Don't be afraid. I'm inside the shop. The shopkeeper looks shifty, but he has many fine goods on display. There's a ladder and a hammer, so obviously the ladder is going to be very useful for scaling the walls. So let's take that. Yoink. It's a city of thieves. Should be fine. Unfortunately, the shopkeeper is bigger than I am, so robbing the shop is not an option. So why don't we try buying the ladder? Unfortunately, it costs more than we can afford. Also, we are completely flat broke, so let's leave the shop. Back in the main street, there's an alley next to the shop that might be of interest. So let's pop into the alley. I'm in an alley behind the tall buildings, many full dustbins under the fire escape, also some wood. Hanging around alleyways in a city of thieves is obviously a brilliant idea. So let's take some wood while we're here. We might be able to use it as a weapon, perhaps. Yes, I have now got wood. So let's look at the dustbins. They might contain treasure. Sadly not, as I'm not a raccoon. There is no treasure in the dustbins. Let's be double sure, though. So in Urban Upstart, if you look through the bins, you find a credit card. Nope, cannot open the dustbins. The difference here is open is a recognised verb, whereas examine is not. So let's climb the fire escape. A bit of altitude. Excellent. Around the fire escape, which leads past a door in the buildings. Let's go in. Let's open this door and have an explore. Oh, can't open the door. It turns out you don't need to open the door. You can just go through the door. But let's try going further up the fire escape. Maybe get onto the roof. Up on the roof. When this soul... No, it can't go that way. It would be nice if it told you what exits you could do. So let's go down again. And go exploring. Luckily, there were no muggers in the alley, unlike in Leisure Suit Larry. I can't go north from the alley. So I enter the alley by going north, so perhaps I can leave by going south. Nope. You actually exit the alley by going east. Unfortunately, I tried to exit by using the E command, which I've not typed in properly. You can go east as a full word, though. Let's try and go west. Well, apparently life is peaceful. Nope. Well, the only way now is got to be east. Which I said is not going to work, because the letter E isn't recognised as a verb. So when I consider myself trapped in the alley of death, it's best to try and escape via the fire escape then, because you've got this mysterious door. What shall we find through the keyhole? A secret staircase into the shop, where the shopkeeper is still there. So it's not like we can do anything useful. Perhaps if we come back after nightfall, we can use the secret staircase to rob the shop, perhaps. But the shopkeeper, Arkwright, isn't going to let us. Arkwright on roids, perhaps. So the alleyway just contains some wood. We can't buy anything in the shops, we've got no money. So let's go west, along the main street. Outside the cinema, sounds of gunfire coming from within. Oh, that sounds exciting. Let's go in. And the usher won't let me in as the programme has started. He blocks my path with his torch. Think of Bruce Campbell in the Spider-Man films, perhaps. So no, I'm going to not mess about. It's a city of thieves and cutthroats. Just kill him. Unfortunately, that's not allowed as a verb. So let's go somewhere else. Back outside the cinema. We can't go and see the nice film. Because it takes a long time to process responses, it would be nice if it told us what exits were available. So from the cinema, you can only go north or east or into the cinema. We're now outside the town bank. The town bank of the City of Thieves. So in we go. Remember, we need money to buy the ladder. Inside the bank are many guards who seem rather bored. You think they should be more alert, but no, they are bored. So straight away, I don't mess about, I just rob the bank. I clearly have no morals. I catch the guards unaware and manage to snatch a wad of notes when no one's noticed, and I've instantly lost the money, thanks to El Grabbo, the local thief. El Grabbo is also a web design company in Stourport. I doubt they're affiliated, though. So we were briefly rich. So the layout of the city is rather strange. From the cinema, you go to the bank by going north. But to get back to the cinema from the bank, you have to go west. And then if you go east from the cinema, you don't go back to the bank, you go back to the bit outside the shop. Someone has drawn a map of the place, and it's interesting. It's on the CASA website, the Solutions Archive. I'll put a link in the description below. So let's go back past the shop and explore the other direction. Let's go east from the shop. We're now at a crossroads. So we should be able to go in all four directions. Let's head south first. We're at a dead end, but there's a manhole in the road. Oh-ho-ho. Manhole cover is shut. So I expect this will probably need some special tool to open it, but let's try anyway. And that unexpectedly worked. We have opened the manhole. Let's go down and have a look. Into the sewers. Unfortunately, it's dark in the sewers and probably smells bad as well. We better get some light or we may be in trouble. So let's leave. Where could we get light from? I wonder. Let's go back to the crossroads. So in theory, we should be able to go in all four directions from here. Which takes us to part of the city walls where the sea mist is quite thick, making it hard to see far. We need to climb the city walls to escape. We may not be able to do so immediately. Can we climb the walls? Sadly not, as we need a ladder. And we do not have a ladder. We know there's one in the shop, but we can't seem to afford it. So I think we need to go and get a torch. Maybe we can get some money at the bank, though, to buy the ladder. We've tried robbing the bank. There is, of course, another opportunity, the chance of doing it honestly. What if I open an account at the bank. Then I can maybe get a loan or an overdraft to buy a ladder. Sadly not. So we're back outside the cinema. Go and face our nemesis, the usher, Bruce Campbell, blocking my path with his torch. Won't be so cocky without your torch, will you, mate? Not so big. Let's try take torch as a first attempt. Stop, thief! Shouts the usher, but I managed to escape. Suck it, usher. Groovy. So, we're back at the manhole. It's dark, better get some light or we may be in trouble. So let's light the torch. Let's look around. We're in a small alcove underneath the manhole, passage going south, also a bag of nails. Oh ho ho, so we've got wood, we've now got nails, and the shop also sells a hammer. The passage leads to an ancient tomb where many sarcophagi lie scattered about. There was also a Barclay card. I don't remember this episode of Wicker's World, but obviously Mr. Alan Wicker's been here and has dropped his Barclay card. So we'll take that as an alternative to the wads of notes that we very briefly had before El Grabbo nicked them. So we're back outside the hardware shop. So in we go. We're now armed with the Barclay card. The shopkeeper looks shifty, with many fine goods on display. Can I afford to buy the ladder now? Sadly, the ladder is seemingly made of solid gold. I can certainly buy a hammer, no? That'll do nicely, sir. And now I can hammer in the morning and hammer in the evening all over Alzan. And now, having the hammer and the nails and the wood, I can build a ladder. What a stroke of genius. I am the smartest man alive. Now off to the city walls. Now at the city walls, the sea mist is quite thick, making it hard to see far. We know we need a ladder to climb the walls. We have successfully built a ladder. So let's now climb the wall to escape. Oh, I need a ladder to get over these walls. Yeah, I know. That's why I built a ladder. That's why I went on a mid-quest line to construct a ladder. So let's use the ladder instead. I can't use the ladder. Okay. Maybe I need to climb the ladder rather than climbing the walls. Yeah, I know I need a ladder to get over the walls. That's why I built a ladder. Well, check my inventory. Got lighted torch, a hammer and a Barclay card. I don't have a ladder. I built the ladder. Unfortunately, when I built the ladder in the shop, I left the ladder on the floor. So let's go and get it. Unfortunately, when I get outside the shop, I must have caught the plague in the tomb. It seems that I've died. I've run out of time. When you go into the tomb, there's a chance that you contract a deadly plague, and then you're very much up against the clock. Oh dear. Let's try again. Grabbo, no, Grabbo.
Oh, man!
So here's how some of the conditions work. This one here is determining robbing the bank. The two numbers at the start, 34 is rob or steal, 00 is any object, and you have to be in location 13, A13. If that's true, we set flag number 8 to true, display message 13, put object 6 into the room, and then put object 6 in your inventory. You can see here there's no mention of El Grabbo at all. El Grabbo is handled at the condition level. There is a condition which states that if you have object 6 in your inventory and a random number is less than 10, then he turns up and steals the money. The same random condition is used to determine if you catch the plague in the tomb. There's a 30% chance of that. So here, if you're trying to rob the bank and flag number 8 is already set, then we say you can't do it. And here is trying to rob the shop. Try and rob the shop, it tells you the shopkeeper is bigger than you. D09 is display that message, message number 9. So even though you're typing in a adventure game, you don't know exactly what's going on. You know what the messages say because you've typed them in there as normal text. However, the actual conditions and the relationships are not obvious unless you settle down for a while with a book to decode them. So here is a condition. This is the condition that governs El Grabbo himself. So if object 6 is either present or in your possession, and the random number is less than 10, so throw a 100-sided dice, H10 is random 10, then display message 2 and move object number 6 to room 0, which removes it from the game. So El Grabbo steals the money and you're never going to get it back. Where's Dora the Explorer when you need her? So now we're outside the town bank, so this is to show how El Grabbo in action. So the guards are rather bored. It's a city of thieves, you'd think they'd be a bit more alert. So I'm going to rob the bank again. I've snatched a wad of notes, lovely jubbly. And El Grabbo has not appeared. Because there's only a 10% chance of him showing up. I was just very unlucky when I played the game before. It's all based on the random number seed in the memory, depending what it's set to. So now I'm going to leave the bank and I head straight to the shop. But each time I issue a command, there is a 10% chance of El Grabbo. So issuing inventory, I've reduced my chances. So if you do it perfectly, you've got a 53% chance of buying the hammer with the money. Here's the shopkeeper, so let's go and buy and whoosh, El Grabbo turns up. So there is a chance of buying the hammer. You can never ever buy the ladder, ever. So here's what would happen if I was able to successfully use the ladder against the city wall, where the sea mist. The reason I can't type E for east is because I made a mistake. So here is part of the city walls. The sea mist is quite thick, making it hard to see far. That's a clue. To check my inventory, I've got a lighted torch, a hammer, a bag of nails, a barclay card, and some wood. So I can now build a ladder, as we've seen before. You can never afford to buy the ladder, no matter how much money you have. And the game is pleased with me, which is always nice. And if we look around, we can see a rough ladder on the floor. I can now climb the ladder to escape the City of Alzan. I plunge from the wall right down onto the rocks by the sea 500 feet below. Never mind, better luck next time. See, the sea mist meant you couldn't see where you were going, so you fall off the wall and you die horribly. The end. So, adventure games often rely on darkness as one of the puzzles. Unfortunately, some of them don't handle darkness very well. Obviously, they stop you being able to see things, but they don't deal with the consequences of not being able to see. So I've gone down the manhole, but it's dark. I better get some light or I may be in trouble. However, there's nothing to stop me taking the object that is here, even though I don't know it exists. So some games would block this by saying, oh, there's an object there, you can't take it, you can't see it. But here, you can just take it. So how do adventure games get around this? So one of the classic ways of getting around this was by using pits. Essentially, if you move around in the dark, you'll fall down a bottomless pit and die horribly because you can't see. Unfortunately, it doesn't always make sense because as soon as you turn the light on, these pits have vanished. And in the adventure game Zork, they decided not to use this because you go into the attic and it's dark and it's possible to fall down the bottomless pit into the attic of a house that you can't see from the floor below. So in Zork, they replaced the bottomless pits with a monster called a Groo. So in the dark, you get told, it is dark. You may be eaten by a Groo. Groos are horrible monsters that fear light. So if you move around in the dark, you will die horribly with a monster killing you. That then mixes up a bit in one of the later games where you can get a magic potion that lets you see in the dark. The trick being, of course, that light is not only used for being able to see, but also to divert the Groos. And if you drink this potion, you walk around in the dark and you get to see the horrible monster eating you alive. Here you can move around, you can pick up objects, provided you know that they're in advance, you can pick up stuff from the tomb without any worries. So this is how you actually win. So I'm in the alley behind the shop. there's the wood on the ground. I've already bought the hammer and I picked up the bag of nails. So I take the wood. So having got the wood, I can then go up by climbing the fire escape by using the dustbins, which are full. Now on the fire escape, I can go through the door into the shop if I want to. I can try continuing up. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. I can go west from here, which takes me onto some catwalks between the buildings. And from this location, I can then head north to a part of the city walls where there's an unused door in the wall here. So obviously the thing to try would be to open the door. You can't, unfortunately. It doesn't mention that the door was presumably very high up. But because I've got the equipment, I can then build the ladder. I've got the wood, I've got the nails, I've got the hammer. Hooray for me, I am clever. I can then climb the ladder to success. Congratulations, I've made it outside the city walls. This is indeed a rare occasion. Well done. I rather enjoyed City of Alzan. It's on the ZX81, so it's a bit slow. You might have 20 seconds wait for a response, which thankfully I've edited out for you. But it's rather splendid, and led on to some other games using the same Trevor Toms system. Thank you for watching, and hopefully see you again in the future.